Are you truly living your life or just sleepwalking through it? Most people spend their days chasing goals they never consciously chose. Goals dictated by family expectations, societal pressures, or the relentless demands of financial security. But what if you actively designed your life, investing your precious time and energy into something that genuinely resonates with your soul? It's not about whether you deserve the goal. It's about whether the goal deserves you. If that doesn't jolt you awake, you might be missing something fundamental. Every second is an investment, either in your future or its slow erosion. What are you building? What kind of legacy are you leaving behind? Seriously, contemplate this. Every day, you're trading your life for something. Your energy, your time, your very essence. It's all currency in the grand exchange of existence. And most folks haven't even bothered to check the exchange rate. This revelation, that the goals we choose are essentially the lives we choose, was a powerful, paralyzing, and ultimately liberating realization for me. Is what you're striving for worthy of your unique gifts and potential? It's not about your worthiness in relation to your dreams. It's about whether your dreams are worthy of you. Many people settle for crumbs, a tiny raise, making ends meet, a sense of barely there security. And there's nothing wrong with those things. But are they the sum total of your aspirations, or are you settling because you believe you can't have more? I remember wanting a new house, but it wasn't about the house itself. It was about the person I needed to become to attract that reality. The astonishing truth was, the house was the smallest reward. The real gift was the transformation I underwent to achieve it. That's where the magic began. The house was just a symbol, a reflection of my inner growth. It wasn't about achieving something, it was about becoming someone, more conscious, more resourceful, more deeply connected to my authentic self. That's what most people are missing, a goal that ignites a fire within. Not something you'd like to have if things work out, or something you might accept if the universe cooperates. I'm talking about a desire that makes your heart pound, the kind that keeps you up at night, not with anxiety, but with exhilarating anticipation. And the worst part, most people are too afraid to even write down their true desires. They fear admitting to themselves what they really want, because they know that once it's written, excuses become obsolete. They'll have to take action. They'll have to confront obstacles, and the mind hates that. It wants the status quo. But here's a painful truth. It's not a lack of money, time, or support holding you back. It's a lack of the audacity to dream big. You might think, but I don't have the experience. I say you don't need experience, you need grit. I've known people who started with absolutely nothing, no formal education, no family support, drowning in debt, juggling kids and real-life crises. But they had one thing, a crystal-clear goal and an unwavering love for it, and that moves mountains literally. What if I fail, you might ask? I counter with, what if you spend the next 40 years avoiding failure, only to end up frustrated, regretful, and hollow? That's not security. That's a tragedy disguised as caution. True security lies in becoming someone who knows themselves, who's aligned with their purpose, and who chooses to live courageously. And courage, my friend, isn't the absence of fear, it's acting despite it. Right now, grab a pen and paper. Write down in vivid detail a goal that ignites your soul. Not something reasonable or plausible, but what you truly desire. The kind of goal that makes your eyes sparkle just thinking about it. Write it as if it's already a reality. I am so happy and grateful now that. Use the present tense, feel it, live it in your mind, and read it aloud every single day. Not once, not twice, but every day. This goal is more than a destination. It's a reflection of your inherent greatness. I do this, and I still do it to this day. It felt strange at first, like a lie. But over time, the feeling deepens, faith grows, your vibration shifts, and the world responds, because the world responds to your vibration, not your words. I once met a young man whose goal was to master every aspect of creating an animated series, writing, drawing, directing, the whole shebang. A massive undertaking, I asked. Do you have a deadline? He said, yes, October 2023. 4 years away. I looked into his eyes and said, why 4 years? Why not start now? Time is a sophisticated excuse the mind uses to postpone courage. When he realized he could take a step today, not tomorrow, he discovered something new: progress, clarity, and a love for the process. And that, my friend, is the unmistakable fire that burns only when you're on the right path. So what are you trading your life for? Is what you're pursuing worthy of the person you're capable of becoming? Or are you merely busy with tasks that distance you from yourself? This isn't a dress rehearsal. This is real life, and only you can choose the role you play. Everything in the universe is energy. You are energy. Your thoughts, emotions, goals, they all vibrate. What many fail to grasp or even notice is that this energy is constantly in motion. And it doesn't move randomly. It moves according to the form you give it. You are the sculptor, the mold, and your mind is the most powerful creative tool in existence. This isn't some airy theory, it's reality constructing reality. Initially, the idea that we shape our world with our thoughts seemed beautiful but distant. Then it clicked. We don't just think. We connect with a universal intelligence, a field of infinite possibilities constantly at our disposal. And that field responds to our vibration. Notice how when you're angry, everything seems to go wrong. People treat you poorly, things fall apart, and unexpected problems arise. Conversely, when you're grateful, loving, and enthusiastic, even the traffic seems to cooperate. It's not coincidence, it's vibration. The universe always responds to what you emit. This understanding was transformative. Setting a goal, I realized, is shaping raw energy. Energy constantly flowing through you, awaiting direction. It's your focus, your imagination, your feelings that provide that direction. A goal isn't just something to achieve. It's the form you're giving to the energy flowing through you. I remember a seminar where Bob plainly stated, "You are shaping energy. That's what a goal does." In that moment, it was like a switch flipped inside me. I saw it. I felt it. And I knew nothing would ever be the same, because I'd grasped what had previously been just a concept. It's like observing the wind and understanding that it doesn't blow randomly. There's direction, there's flow. And more importantly, you can adjust the sails of your life accordingly. With this understanding, you're no longer a victim of chance. You become the protagonist, operating on a higher level of consciousness. Life begins to respond in entirely different ways. Most people are trapped by what their eyes can see, believing only what they can touch is real. But tell me, is Wi-Fi real? You can't see it, but you use it. Thought is the same, invisible yet powerful. What you think frequently, feel intensely, and believe deeply begins to manifest. Not because the world changed, but because you changed your frequency of connection to it. A man came to my seminar, a skeptic trapped in logic, even grammar. He said, "I can't understand how someone with so many grammatical errors can teach me anything." I laughed and replied, "I can teach you to acquire the building where you work." He fell silent. He was impacted. Why? Because it wasn't about language, it was about vibration. Months later, that man became a company president. When he changed within, the world responded. It was vibration, not logic, that did the work. Stop believing that external conditions define your ability to achieve. You don't need ideal circumstances. You need inner alignment. You need to tune into the frequency of what you desire. This is real, measurable, and observed in quantum physics, neuroscience, and psychology. Research shows that people with clear purpose, who visualize frequently and engage emotionally with their goals, activate brain areas associated with motivation, focus, and creativity, literally becoming more capable. This is what I want you to start applying. Now, not tomorrow. If you want different results, change your vibration right now. How by choosing a goal, engaging with it emotionally, feeling it as real, and repeating that mental image daily. Above all, act as if it's inevitable, because that's what transforms invisible energy into matter, desire into reality. People say, "When I have money, I'll change my life." It's the opposite. Change your vibration, and the money, opportunities, and open doors will follow. The world will reorganize around you. You have no idea what lies within you. Nothing is created or destroyed. It already exists. Your role is to become compatible with what you desire. You won't attract what you want. You'll attract what you are. When you consciously shape the energy flowing through you, You'll witness the impossible become possible. But don't just listen, live it, practice it, feel it. Only action generates transformation. Understanding isn't enough, you must become it. How are you shaping your life's energy today? With fear or faith, doubt or enthusiasm, limitation or possibility? The choice is yours, always has been, always will be. Your mind is a workshop, a sacred space where you manufacture daily experiences. The main tool, your imagination. How are you using it? It's always working, but if you're not driving, fear takes the wheel. Most people use their imagination to create what they don't want, rehearsing tragedies that haven't even happened. They envision rejection, failure, loss, judgment, with excruciating detail, feeling the cold dread, shame, regret, and weight of failure before anything even occurs. Have you noticed this? It's easy to imagine the worst-case scenario, but incredibly difficult to visualize victory, peace, and fulfillment. Your mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and vividly imagined. If you nurture mental images of scarcity, failure, and rejection, your body goes into a state of constant alert. Over time, this becomes a pattern, and what you repeat emotionally becomes your vibration, which in turn attracts more of the same. What transformed my life, and the lives of countless others, was understanding that imagination is a preview of reality. Everything in the physical world was created twice, first in someone's mind, then in the material world. If you're not living what you want, it's because you haven't created the right image. Stop using your imagination against yourself. Use it to create, expand, and access dimensions of your mind that connect you with what you truly desire. And don't worry if it seems insane. If it feels crazy, you might be on the right track. I remember sitting in a cafe alone with my notebook, frequently fantasizing, seeing myself on stages, helping crowds, transforming lives, envisioning a team, an office, programs running worldwide. At the time, I had none of that. But in my mind, it was already in motion. That internal movement gradually began to transform the external world. Initially, I kept it to myself, fearing ridicule, which incidentally I already received. But it gave me a peace, excitement, and a sparkle in my eyes that I couldn't ignore. I knew I was tapping into something bigger than myself, and somehow I knew it would become real, not by chance, but because my mind was pregnant with that idea. I nurtured it, felt it, believed in it. Have you ever had an idea like that? One that burns from within, that returns even when you try to forget it? That's not coincidence, it's a calling. All you need to start is to give that image form. See it in detail, colors, sounds, smells. How do you feel experiencing it? Who's around you? What do you hear? What do you tell yourself? Create it as if it's already true, because within you, it already is. Napoleon Hill called imagination the most miraculous, wonderful, and inconceivably powerful force in the world. I believe that with every fiber of my being, because it's the force that pulled me from bankruptcy, despair, and mediocrity, leading me to a life beyond my wildest childhood dreams. Once I was helping someone define a big goal. She wanted to be an animator, create a series, but said it would take 4 years, 3 for college, 1 to break into the industry. I said, "Why wait 4 years? Start now." Her eyes widened. She didn't expect that. But something shifted within her because she understood that imagination doesn't depend on deadlines. It depends on presence, audacity, decision. Your imagination is where you design the house you'll live in, rehearse your presentations, and visualize your impact. Your mistake isn't dreaming big, it's dreaming small. The biggest mistake is stopping altogether. Every person who left their mark on the world was initially deemed a dreamer. The Wright brothers were called crazy before pioneers, Edison a fool before a genius, Walt Disney childish before a visionary. What did they have in common? They saw what no one else saw and didn't give up until the world saw it too. What are you waiting for? A sign? Permission? A guarantee? You already have it all within you. You have the right to imagine a magnificent life, a meaningful, impactful, purposeful existence. But you need discipline. The discipline to imagine every day. reinforcing that image until it becomes more real than your fears. Create this image with such love and intensity that it nourishes and uplifts you, moving you even on your most tired days. When this image becomes part of you, it takes root, then bears fruit. Don't be surprised if those around you notice a difference. They'll see that you've changed, lighter, more confident, more alive. Because you will be. When you use your imagination correctly, the world aligns with this new vibration, and the impossible becomes inevitable. The world will try to stop you, not just the external world, but the internal one too. Voices saying, "You can't, you don't know enough, you're dreaming too big." These often masquerade as prudence, logic, responsibility, but they're ego defense mechanisms, fear traps. If you don't learn to recognize them, you'll live a half-life adapted to others, forgetting yourself to fit into their expectations. I've seen it countless times. Brilliant, talented people with magnificent ideas who did nothing because they waited for permission, approval, a sign that it would be safe. The signal comes after the decision, never before. Not everyone will support you or understand, and that's perfectly normal. They don't need to understand. You do. Even with doubts, even without knowing the how, if you feel it deep in your heart, it's yours and you must honor it. I've been judged, criticized, rejected, called crazy, naive, old-fashioned. People laughed at my speaking style, my lack of formal education, the ideas I championed. A man once looked me in the eye and said, "How can someone who makes so many grammatical errors teach me anything?" I smiled and replied, "I can teach you to acquire the building where you work." The room fell silent. I didn't say it out of arrogance, but because it was true and necessary to show that it's not grammar that defines wisdom, but consciousness, results, impact. That same man, initially dismissive, became a company president. He opened his mind, saw, and allowed himself to change. This happened because he had the humility to stop resisting. How many times have you held back because someone said it was foolish? How many times have you downsized your dreams to avoid being called arrogant? How many times have you conformed to the standards of those who never dared to do what you want to do? Stop trying to please those unwilling to grow. If you cling to their approval, you'll live a version of yourself that doesn't even satisfy you, and you still won't be approved. Those frustrated with their lives always criticize those striving for fulfillment. If you don't accept this, you'll spend your best years seeking acceptance from people who don't even know what they want. I understand it hurts. We all want love, recognition, belonging, but the price of universal approval can be high. Sometimes you must disappoint the world to avoid disappointing yourself. Don't let anyone dim your shine. They criticized Henry Ford, laughed at the Wright brothers, and Edison's 1,000 failures were just stepping stones to lighting up the world. It's not stubbornness, it's unwavering conviction. Are you ready to forge ahead even when the world doubts you? To persist despite the jeers? To trust your gut when self-doubt creeps in? Because the noise will get deafening. But remember, you know your fire, your unique purpose. You don't need anyone's permission to pursue it. A couple I knew almost gave up on their dream home, paralyzed by finances. I asked, "Have you decided to buy it?" They were stumped. "You don't need the money to decide," I explained. "The decision attracts the money." They chose, they got the house, and they even sold it for a profit. The impossible wasn't impossible. They were waiting for outside validation for an inside decision, which never works. Your limitations are often self-imposed, fueled by fear of judgment. Stop it. How much of your life are you sacrificing for the approval of people who don't share your dreams? How much of your greatness are you hiding behind other people's opinions? You weren't born to blend in. You were born to blaze. And even if it bothers some, blaze anyway. Because when you do, you give others permission to do the same. That's how the world changes. Not with speeches, but with examples of authentic living. The difference between an ordinary and extraordinary life? Choosing to live aligned with your deepest desires. Forget the fancy techniques and motivational speeches. It's about the courage to choose a compelling goal, to vibrate at the frequency of success, and to hold that vision fiercely, no matter the opposition. You don't need to have it all figured out. Just take one step, then another. The path unfolds as you walk it. Seize the momentum. A new video awaits. Click it. You'll climb another rung on your journey of self-discovery, emerging a little wiser, stronger, and more aligned with your true self. Thanks for being here. See you in the next one.